The apprentice who outshone his master, inspired by law. 1. Never outshine the master. When Elijah first entered the marble halls of the Royal Academy of Architects, he was a hungry dreamer. A young man from a forgotten village with nothing but calloused hands and a sketchbook full of impossible structures. The Academy's greatest mind, Master Raven, took him in as an apprentice after seeing his drawing of a floating cathedral balanced on waterfalls. Raven was a legend. His designs had reshaped cities, his reputation unchallenged. To be his student was an honor. To surpass him was unthinkable. But Elijah's talent burned too brightly to hide. At first he was humble. He fetched tools, carried scrolls, and quietly studied Raven's every stroke. Yet in the solitude of night, Elijah's imagination soared. He sketched buildings that twisted light, towers that sang when the wind passed through them, bridges made of glass and prayer. His art began to whisper through the academy. The apprentices admired him, the nobles took notice, and soon, even Raven's clients asked about the boy with ideas like poetry. That was when the air changed. Raven began to see Elijah not as a student, but as a threat. Compliments once warm turned cold. His corrections grew cruel. "You dream too much," Raven would say. "Architecture is obedience, not rebellion." Elijah understood what was happening. The master who once lifted him was now guarding his throne. But Elijah remembered one of Raven's earliest lessons. Power is not always taken. Sometimes it is waited for. So he changed his approach. He dimmed his flame. In meetings, he deferred to Raven's brilliance. When nobles praised his sketches, he said, "They are born from the master's teachings." He stopped presenting bold designs and instead offered subtle improvements to Raven's existing plans. Refinements that made Raven look even more ingenious. Months passed and Raven's suspicion melted into renewed pride. He began to trust Elijah again, inviting him to collaborate on his grandest project yet, the King's Winter Palace, a structure meant to symbolize eternal wisdom. When the final plans were unveiled, the court gasped at the beauty, the harmony of curves, the interplay of shadow and light. The king himself declared it the work of immortals. Raven basked in the glory, his name etched in gold. Elijah bowed silently beside him, expression unreadable. But when the first snowfall came and sunlight struck the palace facade, something remarkable happened. Hidden geometric patterns emerged in the light, forming the symbol of infinity, a signature Raven had never used, but one Elijah had placed within the design, visible only under perfect conditions. The city whispered again. Did the apprentice do it? Was the light his secret hand? Raven never spoke of it. Perhaps he knew, perhaps he didn't. But the king summoned Elijah soon after and quietly offered him a commission to design the next great monument, alone. Years later, when both men were gone, the people still told the story of the master and the apprentice. Not of rivalry or betrayal, but of wisdom. How Elijah learned that true power was not in defiance, but in patience. Not in stealing the crown, but in mastering the art of timing. He could have outshone his master and been destroyed by envy. Instead, he learned to illuminate without burning, to rise without noise, and to let his brilliance unfold when the world was ready to see it. Because power, like light, reveals itself not in the moment of its creation, but in the way it endures. Light moral. Sometimes the path to greatness is not in proving your brilliance too soon, but in learning when to hide it. Mastery of self is the first step to mastering power.